Hey there, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading for the next 6 months. This is for from now until the end of the year, basically. So we are just going to see what is going on for you at this time. And sorry, this whole deck is upside down, but it doesn't matter. I don't read reversals anyway. But damn, Capricorn. See, this is a new beginning for sure. You have the Ace of Wands and the Eight of Wands and the Judgment card and even the Ten of Swords here. Doesn't really matter. Ten of Swords is something being dead done over with. So, to me, the Ten of Swords is like a total new beginning or the dawning of a new day, more or less. It can represent a difficult ending, sure, but it's the end. So people always like to point out that it can be a difficult ending, as if that's supposed to mean something to me. It's like, it's the end. It's time to move on, right? So again, as I said to someone else, tough love with Chris, right? And you have the Seven of Pentacles. This to me is, very simple, this reading, Capricorn. And I feel like you're in for like a pleasant new beginning, a pleasant new surprise. I feel like you have to dip your toes in the water. This has come up for other people. You have this opening to discovery card, and it's like a keyhole on that card. I'll show you in a minute, where there's something really nice on the other side, and I feel that's part of it. But you start off with this by the book card. I don't know, part of me feels like this is Neptune and Pisces. It's like here's my problem with Neptune and Pisces. It's not really a problem. It's just I don't look at astrology as good or bad. To me, I don't look at tarot as good or bad. To me, it's just loose guidance at best, as I always say. To me, these things should just be the cherry on top of your life. Just use them as loose guidance, right? But the thing with Neptune and Pisces is that I feel that Neptune and Pisces is like growing up believing something your whole entire life and then finding out it's not true. And that's going to be different for everybody, but I feel everyone is going through that right now because it's the end of traditional, or what I call ancestral belief. There are things that we believe for a very long time because our great grandparents, the cavemen, the caveman version of us probably believe something. And it's like Neptune and Pisces literally supposed to bring those things out of us, or is supposed to maybe make us change our beliefs. And I say maybe because maybe not. The whole point of Neptune and Pisces is it's like, what do you believe? You might still believe, once we get to 2025, when Neptune leaves Pisces, at the end of 2025, there might be things that you do say, I still believe this. I still believe this to be true. There are going to be other things that you say, I don't believe this. I'm changing my belief. But it's this by the book thing. I think the shocking thing with Neptune and Pisces is kind of when Neo leaving the Matrix. If you've ever seen the Matrix movie, or Neo taking the red pill, it's like Morpheus tells Neo basically that normally they don't wake people up so quickly. And to me, it's like Neptune and Pisces is waking up very quickly to some truths. And, especially with the other astrology that's going on right now, I feel like there are going to be kind of rapid truths, and these are about things that we believe, things that we've always thought, if I follow these rules, my life will go like this, right? I think this happens a lot in love. People think, if I do this, I will get love. And this goes for both sides, men and women, or, whatever type of relationship you're in. It doesn't matter, right? Like I said, I'm not taking one side or the other. All rules are breaking down. And, I talk about this a lot, but I feel that the more comfortable we can just get in not necessarily breaking rules, but just saying, I did always believe this, but maybe there's something new. If we're just open to discovery, open to exploring other ways of doing things, I truly believe that life will be, amazing. Things will get so much better. And we see that here. You have the Eight of Wands, the Ace of Wands, and the Ten of Swords. Again, this right here is the death of the belief, right? The Ten of Swords is definitely uncomfortable. If you grew up and you were told that the sky was green and the ground was blue, and you believe that, and now everybody's like, no, the sky is blue and the ground is green, you would be shocked, right? And that's what I get here with the Ten of Swords, is that there are some truths, some things that you believed that maybe are a little bit kind of shocking like that. But what I really like is that you have the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands, there is a castle that is crumbling in the background. Again, exactly what I've been talking about. That castle represents establishment, represents something that's been established for a long time. But the Ace of Wands is like the exciting new beginning, the possibility, the growth, the inspiration, feeling inspired. So I feel like you're feeling inspired by new ideas at this time. And here you go, right here. Boom. So I feel like you are just being inspired for the rest of the year. Capricorn. Very simple reading, like I said. And I would follow your inspiration. I believe that this inspiration is going to be coming in, just looking around here, through groups of people, number one. So you could be finding a group of people on the internet. Eight of Wands to me is like social media, socializing, any of those social opportunities. Again, it is my card of social media. But again, you could be finding a group of people through any type of socializing. And you could be like, wow, this is like my group. This is my tribe. These are my people, you know? And I do feel a lot of you could be waking up to that. I also feel some of you could just be just having epiphanies. We see this. Eight of Wands with the Judgment card. It's like these two cards together can be some sort of epiphany or you know, we frequently call the Judgment card like a wake-up call. I don't really feel it's a wake-up call as much as it is like you just really, really resonating with something on a very deep level. Again, sometimes I think when we find the thing that we love to do, for example, we really just feel it. We feel like we love it. And I feel that for you here, but in probably multiple areas of your life. You even have this Tender Embrace card. Again, I just feel like you're falling into something that you truly want to, you know, kind of embrace, that you truly want to become, and you want it to be, you know, even on like a cellular level. I feel like you want to suck something in. Again, super powerful reading. I feel like I'm buzzing. So there you go. I might be talking too fast too, but again, I can't help it, right? Especially when you get a reading like this, Capricorn. I love this. I don't really feel it's talking about one thing or the other either. So to me, these are, you know, going to be, you know, what we're talking about here is going to allow for changes probably in multiple areas of your life. You have the Judgment card, the Queen of Cups, and the Nine of Pentacles. I would definitely allow your feelings to be your guide. The Queen of Cups, she values her emotions the most. So I would say if something feels right, move towards your feelings, you know. That cup, I always say, doesn't look like a cup. It looks like a trophy. And so it kind of just represents the fact that she truly values her emotions on a very deep level. She cares about how she feels. With the Judgment card, again, I wouldn't really call this a wake-up call. Again, I'm just getting more like an epiphany. It's like sometimes I think, again, we find a tribe, a group of people that we can belong to, and we're just like, oh my, like we just feel like we found our group. Maybe you're finding, you know, a book that kind of proves something that you've always believed to be true. I'm getting so many things popping into my head. Sometimes I think we're waiting for that permission. We're just like waiting to find that because it kind of is permission, but there's another word I'm looking for that isn't popping. It's like confirmation, right? You know, we're kind of like waiting for confirmation that we're right about something we've been feeling for a very long period of time. And so I look at this reading as probably multiple aha moments that you could be having. You have the Nine of Pentacles here. It's like you finally understand where to put your energy. The reason I feel this is, you know, I do feel your money looks really good here, Capricorn. But the reason I feel that the Nine of Pentacles is more talking about your energy in your situation is she has 6 Pentacles over here and 3 Pentacles over here. But what I would say is I feel like your energy, just in general, intuitively, I feel like your energy hasn't been, like, maybe you haven't been, like you can't understand where to put it, right? Maybe you've been having a hard time like saying, is this a waste of time? You know, do I do this over here, this project over here? Do I date this person? Is that person worth my time? Like I get like a lot of that type of wondering where you should be putting your energy, but I just get a sense of clarity. And again, the Nine of Pentacles doesn't represent that, but I read intuitively, and that's what I'm getting here. Is like more of an understanding where to put your energy, what to invest in, and all of these other things as well. The other thing is, what I would say is in the first 2 rows here, I kind of do get a story here. You know, if you're in a situation as far as love is concerned, I get something very weird. I'm just going to put it out there. I feel like this might only be for a small percentage of you where you're like in a situationship where someone just, it's like they don't make the full commitment, and then, you know, I feel like they get afraid of commitment, then they run away, and then they come back. I get like a very back and forth type of thing, but I feel like you could be dealing with a person who isn't giving 100%, and I kind of see you ending that situation. I really get this sense of power in your reading. I get this sense of understanding your worth, and I feel this is only the beginning right here, Capricorn, with the Nine of Pentacles. So it's like you're only understanding your true, you know, your true worth in a relationship. And I don't mean like, you know, I'm not looking at this transactionally, right? It's like sometimes I think people think like, oh, I make this much money, I do this, I do that, so I need a person who can match that in a relationship. I'm not talking about it like that. I just feel like again, you've been in a situation where you feel cheated, not cheated on, but cheated. And I feel like you have been, because it's like you've been giving, I see you giving a person like a lot of love and attention. And I just feel like you're kind of moving away from this. It would not surprise me if they tried to fight to not allow this to happen. But again, it's like piss or get off the pot, as I say. It's like these people kill me that want to be in relationships. They play these games and then they get upset when you leave. It's like, well, aren't you an adult? This is my rule, right? It's like if I'm dealing with a person and they are an adult, which by law, I only date adults, for those of you that are interested, that are wondering, right? Not interested. I'm off the market, people. No, I'm not. No more dating for me, right? But what I would say here is that if you're dealing with an adult, they shouldn't be playing childish games. And I feel a lot of you are kind of like getting away from these childish games. Next, you have this opening to discovery card. Like I said, there's this like keyhole right there. And there's something amazing through that keyhole. There's something that I feel like you need to step through that keyhole and discover what's on the other side. For some of you, I feel like you're just kept catching a glimpse of something that could be. And, again, it's part of this resonating energy. If something feels good, I would explore it. I would look more into it. The challenge here, well, you have the Queen of Swords. You see things clearly, but you have the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is like self-imposed restriction and feeling like you can't do something when you actually can. I do feel for some of you that there could be this like big idea that you get that feels right, you resonate with it, but you're like, I'm lacking the resources, I don't have the things I need to get started on this big journey. But I actually feel like you do, but you just have to get started. Number one, I feel teamwork is going to be very beneficial for you, as always, Capricorn. For, I would say, until 2030 for you, Capricorn, I would be doing everything I possibly can if I were you to build a team, to work on a team, to find a person. Again, you don't have to literally have a team. You could just, I think if I were you, just having a person you bounce ideas off of, someone you trust with your ideas as well, and all this other stuff. I always get comments when I say that. And people always bring up the whole, a lot of people say that if you share your goals, that you shouldn't share your goals because you're not going to accomplish them if you share them with a person. And actually, there's a study that proves that wrong. and there's a study that says, actually, if you share your goals with the right type of person who encourages you and gets you moving, then you're actually even more likely to accomplish your goals than the people who don't share their goals at all. And I believe that there's a book called The War of Art. And yes, I'm calling it, The War of Art, not The Art of War. People kept correcting me in the last video where I talked about this. I'm like, no, I know what I'm talking about, people, right? So The War of Art by Pressfield. And I'm pretty sure it's that book where he talks about that study. So again, don't be afraid to share with the right people, with someone who can be an accountability partner or anything like that would be very beneficial. The Queen of Swords, I feel like, just says maintain the vision, right? It doesn't matter how big, how crazy your goal is. It doesn't matter whether or not you think you can accomplish it, whether you want to accomplish it, whatever. It doesn't matter, right? I would just get going with this Queen of Swords energy because I feel like you're going to be very successful. You have this South Node card, and this card says the past. It's like weird because you have the Temperance card here, which is like trying to change the past, right? Temperance is trying to change the past. But, what I would say is the good news is you have the Ace of Pentacles with the Seven of Pentacles. And to me, this is like saying, but I feel like you're trying to change the past, but not in the past. I feel like you're saying you're doing it in the future, which is the right way to do it. To say, these are the mistakes I've made. I'm going to fix it now so I don't make the same mistakes in the future. So you're not really trying to change the past, right? But I do think it is something that is on your mind. The other thing is like, I kind of get the sense that if you're in a relationship that you're leaving or a situationship like I described, I get this sense of like having a really hard time of moving away from it, where it's like you want to move away. If I put myself in your shoes here intuitively, it's like I want to move away from this person. It's like I feel like you need to move away from this person, but then having a hard time doing it. I'm not criticizing you. Trust me, I've been there, right? And the Temperance card is like trying to change something. The weird thing is I feel like this is the problem that the person has with you right here, the Ace of Pentacles. That's how it's popping into my head. I feel like for some of you, it's like if you're dealing with a situationship and the person won't commit or whatever, I feel like this is popping into my head as the blockage, the issue, the challenge, whatever. And it's almost like either they think you care too much about money or you work too much or, take it how it resonates, right? It's kind of weird though. Because I feel if this is your story, I feel like you're becoming more and more successful. That could be the other problem. It's like maybe they feel like you're going to outshine them or whatever. But again, I see you moving away from this person. Why am I mentioning it? It doesn't even matter, right? I feel like you're moving away from this. Right here, Seven of Pentacles. Is the juice worth the squeeze? I feel like you're saying no. I feel for the most part, you're like, like I've wasted too much time on this person. The other weird story that's popping into my head in love, I am getting weird love stories here, Capricorn, but you are a Capricorn, right? I have a ton of Capricorn in my chart. I have a lot of weird love stories. I totally get it. But what I would say here is that I feel for some of you that as far as love is concerned, it's almost like someone keeps coming back, like I had said earlier. But I feel like there's like a person who's going to try to convince you like, oh, why don't we just both go date other people for like 2 years? And then when then if we're, still both single, let's get back together. I'd be like, no, I'm number one. That's what I'd be saying here. Because I feel like you're number one, Capricorn. So I wouldn't play those games with people. I would only give people one shot, plain and simple. But I don't know. Let's dig into this, Capricorn. Let's see what all this craziness is about. Sorry, I'm trying to look at the camera, but there's just like so much going on here. This is a craziest reading I've done so far. Let's see. I feel like repeating numbers. By the way, 11, 22, 33. Very interesting number-wise. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Knight of Swords. Patience is your best friend here, Capricorn. I feel very pushy energy here. I'm telling you right now, I feel like they're popped into my head immediately. There could be multiple situations for you this year, for the rest of the year, where I feel like people are going to be like, you have to make a decision right now. I feel like your best bet is to just, lean back, sit back, relax, and say, no. Plain and simple. I feel like that'll put you in the power position in any decision. For some of you, I feel like this could be business related, where someone is like, make a decision. You have to do this right now, and just being like, no. I always tell a story, like years ago, I negotiated my brother's car. I got him a car for like nothing, right? The salesman was like super pushy. He was like, oh, if you come in, we'll make the deal here. And I just told him on the phone, I'm like, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to come back. I just kept saying no. Right? And one of my other favorite books of all time, it's Never Split the Difference. And in that book, he basically just says, no. And I feel for some of you that this is like you kind of being in a position in negotiations, in anything that you're doing. I feel like being in that no position is actually going to make people kind of like chase you in business and work and things like that as well. Other than that, I would be very careful of pushy energy. We have a Mars retrograde year this year, and I always tell people in these like retrograde heavy years, which is about every 2 years, we have a year that is like super heavy with retrogrades. Not always true, but this year it's actually not very super heavy comparatively, because we could have 4. Some years have 4 Mercury retrogrades, believe it or not. But a Mars retrograde. But we just have the Mars retrograde. I would just be careful. I always say, like, Knight of Swords is like a second opinion card for me. To me, it says like if someone's trying to push you into something, get a second opinion, take some time and sleep on it, right? There are no decisions that can't wait, is the way that I look at it. It's like, trust me, there have been many decisions where people are like, if you don't decide right now, you lose this. And I'm always like, okay, no, because I'm not going to be pushed into a decision. I feel like you need to develop that attitude right here. Don't allow people to bully you. Ace of Wands, you have the Temperance card. It's like you've been waiting for an answer. Sometimes I think we're waiting for inspiration. It's like I feel that from the outside, like anyone who's external to you, maybe they look at you as not knowing what you're doing, or for the past like 2 or 3 years. I actually feel like you do know what you're doing. You've been preparing, is the way that I see this. Temperance twice in your reading. So I feel like you've been preparing to do something, and it's like didn't I say earlier in the reading, this is only the beginning? I feel like this is only the beginning, Capricorn. It's like people have no clue. I have Iron Man popping into my head. It's like you're Iron Man, but not. With the Ten of Swords, boom. Like I said, lovers. Two of Cups. I'm telling you right now. Again, this person. First off, if you're in the situationship, I would walk away. I feel like your true love is gonna come walking in. Two of Cups, but also, I do feel this person has ego issues if you're dealing with a past person, if you're in that situationship that I discussed earlier. But I really feel there's new love coming in. Here you go. With the Judgment card, you have the Ten of Cups, fortune after difficulty. I don't like this. I'm going to tell you why I don't like this, because I don't want to admit what I'm about to say. But for a very small percentage of you, this could be a person that person that I described, if you're in some weird situationship in the first place, trying to get the commitment. all I'll say to you is fine. I would make them prove it with this energy. Again, I do not do X-back readings, but like I said, this feels like a very strong connection to me. I feel like a person who, like, I feel like they have ego issues, not as in they're a jerk, like a jerky ego, but just, other types of ego issues. And I really feel like they feel you trying to pull away. I feel this energy of absence here when I look at the reading. And that's why they're coming back. But it's like, why couldn't they make the decision earlier? Why couldn't they make the decision sooner? Again, I can't control your life. This is why I always say, if there's something with an ex coming back, I'm going to say it. But you have to be honest with yourself. I always tell people, I don't do X-back readings because it's easy for me to just put an X-back title up on YouTube and get a bajillion views, right? And not only that, I really don't think it happens that often, number one. Number two, I think doing those videos, it's like people try to make it fit. And again, I'm not criticizing any of my viewers here. I'm just saying it's like when I do them, sometimes I get people responding and it's like I can tell that they're trying to make it fit their situation. So again, this is a very specific situation here with that 10 of Cups, where it's like kind of how I described it earlier. For others, by the way, again, I feel like you're like living a dream. 10 of Cups is your dream life. And again, this is what you're trying to manifest. But again, 8 of Swords, feeling a little limited. So we're going to have to look into that. With the Queen of Cups, I'm telling you right now, look, see, King of Swords, this is why I say this, because of this right here. 10 of Swords, King of Swords, Queen of Swords. To me, these are the worst divine counterparts, the King and the Queen of Swords. Two people not coming together here. If we get the King of Cups there, I'll faint because I'll have to eat my words. But, again, this to me is like too much, too much clashing. Even if there's no fighting in this situationship that you could be walking away from, it's too much conflict. But the conflict might not be fighting. It might be like distance where they're not willing to move towards you. It might just be they're not willing to compromise or whatever. With the 9 of Pentacles, you have the Emperor. Some of you could be dealing with an Aries. Really, I feel like this is just you, again, becoming number one. Like I said earlier, I feel like you have a plan now with that 9 of Pentacles. There's a certain understanding to this reading about your own personal life, not about love, not about any of this other stuff, right? But, I would be, I feel like you should focus on your own plan here with that Emperor. I feel like that's your plan or a plan coming together. You finally understand what you're supposed to be doing. Like, it's kind of interesting because it reminds me of just like taking maybe the past few years, people are looking at your life and saying, like, what have they been doing? Like, they feel like you've been doing nothing. I feel like you've been like preparing for this is what I feel like saying. With the Queen of Pentacles, you have the King of Pentacles. There you go. See, this is how I'm looking at this love-wise, is again, the King of Swords, Queen of Swords past. The Queen of Swords, I feel, is your energy being clear about what you're looking for. And you could be looking for the King of Pentacles, which is something permanent, right? Something that isn't in and out, someone who understands your worth, blah, blah, blah. With the 8 of Swords, you have the 3 of Swords. Again, I do feel the sense of heartbreak if you're walking away from a person that you need to walk away from. I always like to remind people, it's like we can walk away from a person and be heartbroken. We can understand, it's like we can be sad about it and still choose to walk away. And that's what this looks like to me. With the 3 of Pentacles, you have the 8 of Swords. Yeah, I mean, this is what's holding you back as well, business-wise, needing to open up to teamwork. Again, I feel like people want to help you. If you're feeling limited and you have this dream or this idea of creating a business or something like that, or doing something, in your life, then, I would open up to teamwork, or I would open up to, working together with other people. Because, again, I feel like that's going to set you free. Like I said, I earlier in the reading, I get this feeling of really this big idea, this big master plan that you could be developing right now, Capricorn. I feel like you need the help of other people to be able to do it, is what I would say there. So don't be afraid to team up with other people. With the Temperance card, you have the Queen of Pentacles. There you go. Here you go. Right here. Look it. You've been waiting for this for a long time. Capricorn, King and Queen of Pentacles, divine counterparts, 10 of Cups, ultimate happiness. So I feel like you could be attracting a person who's very serious. Could be a fellow earth sign, for sure. Could be any sign. You have basically everything here. But I definitely wouldn't be surprised if it's a person who either has fire or earth in their chart. Their sun really doesn't matter. So I do feel there's like a divine counterpart coming in for you. With the Ace of Pentacles, 3 of Cups, celebration. I feel like you'll be very happy about this. And again, 3 Cups is another card of teamwork and community. And with the 7 of Pentacles, you have the 4 of Cups. Yeah, I feel the Seven of Pentacles is, again, you walking away from the past. Like we said earlier, and the Four of Cups is like too many disappointments. Pretty simple reading, even though I babbled on for like 25 minutes. I feel like you are moving towards like your true value, your true worth. And so I would get clear on that as well. This is a really good reading. I love this. So thank you for being here, Capricorn. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, and Rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your year.